Okay, hi everybody. My name's Claire. I'm on Kate Ali's computer. She's our public art manager. My name's Claire, and I'm going to walk us through how to apply for the Mayor's Art Show 2023. And Chanin, do you want to say hi real quick?
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Chanin Santiago. I am public art coordinator and the curator for the Mayor's Art Show. And thank you all so much for being here to our very first online cafe application support session. We've heard from some artists in the community that cafe can be a challenge, so we want to be here for you all virtually and also in person. Right now I'm downtown at the Atrium office 117, and we have the office open for folks to come in as well. So Claire is going to facilitate, and then Kate Ali, our public art coordinator manager, will be there to answer any questions or walk anybody through the cafe application process and setting up a profile. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Oh yeah, that's another thing I was going to say. If you have any other questions after this day, feel free to reach out to us. And we're happy to help you through the process. And the call closes on June 12th. So thank you so much.
July 12th. Okay, so I'm going to walk us through the Mayor's Art Show call for 2023. It starts on our city website, and to get there, you can simply just Google Eugene Mayor's Art Show, and it will be the first city website that comes up. So this is the homepage, and from here you can see past awards. And for this year, we're going to go to learn more and apply. This page has all the information that you need, and I thought that we could start by walking through the eligibility, and then if anyone has questions about eligibility, since we've already been receiving some questions. So the Mayor's Art Show is free to apply to. We use this program called CAFE, Call for Entry, and typically their calls have an option to pay money, but ours is $0. So when we get to that part, you'll see that even though it's a prompts you to pay, just want everybody to know that it's $0 for you. The Mayor's Art Show is open to all community members who live, work, or have a connection to the Eugene area. You must be 18 years or older when you submit your application. And we've been getting questions about when we'll need your artwork. So we'll need your artwork dropped off mid-August for photographing. And then we will hold your artwork in our secure artwork storage, and then install it in September. And the show begins October 6th and goes through the end of the month. So basically we'll have your artwork from mid-August to the very end of October. We are looking for 2D, 3D, and digital artworks. Just remember that the digital artworks must be self-contained. So for example, like if you submit a video, we would need a way to show that video, and we'd like the artist to supply that. If you have any questions about that, reach out and we can talk through some options. It's also really important that your artwork is display ready. So this includes framing or wiring to be hung in a gallery-like setting. 2D artwork must be able to hang on gallery wire hooks. If you're not familiar with gallery wire hooks, I just want to pull up a quick image. So when we talk about gallery wire hooks, we are using something similar to these. So if you're wondering, If your artwork is hang ready, just make sure that it's compatible with this type of hooks. So next is the image requirements, and this is pretty important. So we're looking for artists to submit just one artwork for the jury to consider. So if you have multiple artworks that you'd like to submit, it's going to be hard, but please just choose one artwork to submit. But even though it's just one artwork, we'd love to see multiple images of that artwork in your application. So for 2D artwork applications, please include 1 to 2 images. So it's the same artwork, but maybe different angles of that image, of that artwork, maybe a detail image and then a full picture. Similarly, for 3D artworks, help give the jurors like an understanding of the full picture of your sculptural work. So we're looking for 2 to 5 images. Next is video and audio requirements. So similarly to the visual arts, we just want one submission from you for videos and audios. So, but we don't need multiple, angles for that. So just submit one file, one digital file or one audio file, if that applies to you. And then we're getting close to the end of eligibility. The dimension requirements for 2D artwork is 60 inches high, and that includes the final framed dimensions. So after it's framed and ready to go, make sure it's not more than 60 inches. We simply just don't have the length available for that, the height available for that. And then 3D artworks, we don't have really minimum dimensions or maximum dimensions on that. So just include the weight, and that will help the jury determine where we can display your work. And then lastly, please submit works that have been completed after January 1st, 2022. So in the last year and a half, we're looking for new work. And finally, the curator, Chanin, reserves the right to refuse artworks at any time. Yeah. Does anyone have questions about eligibility? I know there's a lot there. Feel free to unmute yourself and post your question in the chat. I'd like to add that our coworker Leandy is here as well, and she's supporting any artists today who would like to do their application in Spanish. So if anyone would prefer to speak Spanish, let us know and we'll get you connected with Leandy, who's here today. Okay, well, if something comes up, you can always email us. So now I'm going to walk us through actually submitting your application. So from this Mayor's Art Show page on the Cultural Services website, click Submit Entry. This brings you to the cafe call for entry, call to artist page. This has all the information that you'll need for the call to submit your application. Once you read through all of that, you will be ready to apply. Click Apply Now and then log into Cafe. If you haven't used Cafe before, just click down here, Sign Up for Free to create your own account. Go ahead and log in. This brings you to the agreement page. We don't really have agreements for this application, so just Chanin's email if you need it. Click Agree. So here's the actual application, and basically this call comprises of 2 sections. First is the form questions, and then is the area where you will upload your photos or your work samples. The form questions, there's just 4. The first one is, what is your artist biography? So for this, we're looking to read about your art career and your art practice in 250 words or less. Then we'd love to hear about your artist statement. So this is different from the biography because we want to hear about the specific artwork that you are submitting in 250 words or less. Next question is, does this artwork include cultural themes and/or designs? If yes, how does this relate to your culture and/or your identity? And then finally, how does this artwork or your art practice relate to the Eugene area and/or this community? Once you've filled those out, you can click Save and then move on to your work samples. So this part I think is a little confusing, so feel free to pop in and ask any questions. Basically, Cafe has a portfolio that's linked to your account that you use to apply to any calls. It doesn't have to be just the Mayor's Art Show, but any calls that you see that are listed on Cafe from public art or visual arts groups from all over the world. It's pretty cool. So basically, you'll upload your work samples for the Mayor's Art Show to your Cafe portfolio. Then once you upload it, they'll show up here and you can choose them, select them to be uploaded with your Mayor's Art Show application. So let's add some photos. Click Add Media. From this page, you can choose if you'd like to submit an image, an audio file, or a video file. And I've listed in the eligibility requirements the different file types that Cafe supports. So they have some tricky requirements. It also says under here, so you can, for images, you can only do JPEG or JPEG, under 5 MBs, minimum of 1200 pixels. Audio, these file types under 10 megabytes. Or if there's a URL, you could just copy and paste that. And then here's the video file options. Let's just practice doing an image. So go ahead and choose a file. We'll do our beautiful call to artist graphic. So then you're prompted to fill out all of this information, and keep in mind that you have to do each image and description one at a time. I practiced doing this earlier, so I have it's cool, it has this remembered in here. So I'll just quickly go through, select those. This artwork, choose if it's for sale or not. That'll be really important if you want your piece to be for sale during the Mayor's Art Show exhibition. If you do want it to be for sale, you can choose how much you want it to be for sale. If you do not want it to be for sale, please put NFS for not for sale. The date, primary, discipline, if this piece is public art. And then there's an option to do a short description, although keep in mind that that description is also part of your artist statement. So if it's duplicate information, you don't have to add anything else here that wouldn't be in your artist statement. You click Add to your portfolio. So now we've added this to our portfolio. So if you wanted to change this or edit it, you'd click this drop-down menu. You can add more media, you can duplicate this, edit it, remove it. But since we just, for practice, are doing one image, I'm gonna go back to the Mayor's Art Show call. And to get back to the Mayor's Art Show call, you go to the menu option up here, My Cafe Entries. Oops. So we actually need to go through this again. So now that I'm logged in, if I do apply now, So it wants me to, even though I clicked save, it wants me to finish the entire page at once. Here's the image that we uploaded. So now we just have to select it in order for it to be linked to the Mayor's Art Show call. Now, if we click Save Application. If you want to step away at any time and log back in later, you'd go to My Cafe Entries, and it shows up down here. I think we're ready, so just follow the prompts to check out. Like I said, it's $0. Submit entry. That's it. It's a lot of steps. Hopefully it's not too confusing. Does anyone have questions about any of those steps? Okay, well, I'm going to stop recording this and feel free to hang out if you have any questions. I'll be on Zoom along with Kate and Leandy and Shannon, and we are here to help you if you have any individual questions that you want to talk through or ideas. Just let us know.
Thanks, Claire. Appreciate that. Also, if you kind of take what you've learned today and then kind of go home and mill things over and start to fill something out and you have questions, just feel free to reach out and ask us those questions. Probably by email is the best way to get a hold of us.
I'll put Shannon's email in the chat.
Great.